Hello students. Here we are going to look at the suggested solution for exercise 2C. Okay. So the first question says find the square roots of each of the following. So take note the question, why is it in screen mode? Highlight, right? It says find the square roots, right? So when it says square roots, we already know that we want both the positive and negative roots. They use plural, right? That's the default. However, okay, so a common mistake that I see many people make is to just use the square root sign over the number. Now, when you use the square root sign, all you are doing is actually declaring the positive root. So to actually get both the positive and negative root, you need both the positive and the negative with the square root sign. What do I mean by this? So let me show you. Right, let's use a different color pen. Let's zoom in a little bit. Right, maybe I have a thicker pen. 1.5 point, 2 points. All right. So we should write down solution in this way: the square roots of 81. Now the square root of 81 is actually both the positive and the negative of the square root of 81. So the square root sign itself gives us only the positive root. You have to have both the positive and negative aspect, which will give us positive 9 or negative 9, right? So that is actually how you present your answers. If you just write down this, right, that is just the positive root without the negative roots. Okay, so in the same manner, the rest should be quite straightforward now that you understood it. If I write square roots of 16, right, this is actually the positive and negative of square root 16, which gives us positive negative of 4. Okay, so once again, just want to highlight, okay, here, this is the part that's missing for many of your working. Okay, so continuing, part C, square roots of 25 is both the positive and negative square root of 25, which is positive or negative of 5, right? And then part D, we have square root of 100, which is this, right? Same manner, this. Okay, so this is how it actually should look like, right? Okay, let's move on. Now over here, there's quite a bit of working to be shown, right? Unfortunately, quite a number of you, again, I have no idea what was going through your mind. You decided that you are not going to show the step-by-step working. That will not cut it, right? For this type of questions, you have to show all the steps clearly, okay, and all of them must be shown, right? No skipping of steps should be done over here. So let's start with the first one, A. We have 34 times negative 2 times 5 divided by negative 6. So what we can do here, right, we can actually see if we can do first of all, this is 24 times negative 2 times 5, and then the divide by negative 6 is actually the same as multiplying with negative 1 over 6. So that is the concept that's being shown here. The division is actually the multiplication of the reciprocal. Okay, so from here, okay, you can actually, at this stage, since they are all the same multiplication, use the calculator, right? So if I use my calculator, I have 24 times negative 2 times 5 times negative 1 over 6, which gives me 40. Okay, so that's part A. Let's do part B. Come on, Apple Pencil. Right, part B, we have 4 times 10 minus 13 times negative 5, right? So what this question is trying to test us, right, is that we are going to do multiplication first before, right, we actually embark on our subtraction. So 13 times negative 5 gives us negative 65, right? So this is 40 plus 65, which gives us 105. Okay, now do I have space for part C? Yeah, okay, I can do part C here. Part C, we have 160 divide by the cube root of negative 2 minus, cube root of negative 8. Let's try again. Minus 20 divided by negative 5. So this will give us 160 divided by negative 2 minus 20. Now this is actually the same as multiplying by negative 1/5. We can do that. Okay, so continuing, this 160 multiplied by negative half. Okay, now over here I can do the multiplication first. So 20 times negative 1/5 is negative 4, right? And then after that we have 160 times negative half give us negative 80. And then minus a negative, so it's the same as a plus here, 4, which gives us negative 76. There we go. Alright, okay, let's see, where can I write part D? Well, I can put part D here. Part D, we have the square root of 5 squared minus 3 squared minus 57 minus 77 divided by 2. Okay, that's fine, right? So let's take a look. From here, this is the square root of 25 minus 9 minus, this is negative 20 divided by 2. So this is square root of 16 minus negative 20 divided by 2 is negative 10, right? But no, don't skip step. So I'm still going to take my time, don't rush. This is multiplied by half. So this will give me 4 minus negative 10 now, right? Which will result in 4 plus 10, 14. There we go. Okay. And finally, part E, let's do it here. Let's copy out the question. 12 minus 18 divided by 3 minus negative 1 times negative 4. Let me write it as neat as I can. Negative 4 cubed. Okay, so how does this thing work, right? So let's just do it step by step. Okay, we will sort this one out. This will be 12 minus 8 is 18, give us negative 6, right? Divide by 3 is multiplying by 1/3. Minus negative 1, same effect as plus 1. Okay, so we did it there. Multiply by negative 4 to the power of 3 is negative 64, right? Let's double check on the calculator real quick. And, oops, that's correct. Okay, so from here we can continue. Negative 6 times 1/3 is negative 2 plus 1 times negative 64, which gives us negative 1 times negative 64, which gives us 64. Okay, so I hope you have been successful so far, right? The main lesson here is not to rush it. Do it step by step. Check that you don't make any careless mistake. And don't be in a hurry, right? And you should be fine. Let's go on. Okay, question F, G, and H. So there's quite a lot to sort out here. So let's see if I can get enough space on my screen. Let's do F here, right? So we have 5 minus 2 to the power of 3 times 2 plus negative 4 plus negative 7 divided by negative 2 plus 4 squared. So it looks like it's a lot over here, right? But the idea is we don't rush, take our time, okay? Just be very careful every step of the way, right? So here we get 3 to the power of 3 times 2 plus, okay, now inside this particular bracket we have negative 4 minus 7, that's fine, divide by, over here we have 2 squared, right? Okay, so here we have 27 times 2 plus, over here will be negative 11, divide by 4. 27 times 2 is 54, right? Plus negative 11, we have negative 11 here, times a quarter. So 54 plus, well, this will give us negative 11 over 4. So that will be 54 minus 11 over 4. So take calculator. Which gives us 51 and a quarter. Got that? Okay, let's look at part G. Let's write it here. Part G, let's zoom in a little bit. We have negative 10 minus 12 plus negative 3 squared plus 3 cubed divided by negative 3. So same thing, let's break it down step by step, don't be in a rush. We have negative 10 minus, okay, over here we 12 plus 9 plus 27, right? And here we times negative 1/3. Okay, continuing, we have negative 10 minus 12 plus 9 is 21, right? Plus 2 times negative 1/3. So we have negative 10 minus 21 plus 2, that will give us negative 10. Use a calculator, sure. Plus 2. Oh, sorry. 27, not 2. Right? So let's try again. Negative 10 minus 21 plus 27 is negative 4. So we have negative 4 times negative 1/3, right? Which gives us 4 over 3, which is also equals to 1 and 1/3. There we go. Okay. And finally, the last question, maybe I change the color of my pen so it's not too confusing. Okay, mark out the territory. Maybe green, why not? Okay, so we have the cube root of negative 2 times negative 37 minus negative 2, negative 3 plus. Okay, looks like I run out of space. Tell you what, let's retract this. Right? Let's copy it somewhere lower. Do I have space below? Yes, I have lots of space below. So let's find a place with more space. We have here cube root negative 2 times negative 37 minus, close the bracket properly, negative 2, negative 3 plus 8 times negative 2 minus 8 times 2 plus 5 squared. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to just use a red pen. Okay, so not to cause confusion. Okay, so that's where we'll continue. Right, so let's go back to our green pen. Okay, so let's keep things steady, right? So we start with negative 2 times the negative 37. Can we sort that out first? Yes, we can. Right, so negative 2 times negative 37. We have 74, right? Minus, now this portion is in brackets, so I can't rush it. So let's sort out the interior of the bracket first. Negative 2 times negative 3 is 6. Then we have 8 times negative 2 is negative 16. Then we have minus 8 times 2 is 16, right? Plus 5 squared is 25. So that's the cube root. So let's continue. Cube root. So 74 minus, now what happened inside this bracket? We have 6 minus 16 minus 16 plus 25, right? So continuing, 74 minus 6 minus 16 minus 16 is negative 26 plus 25. So that gives us cube root 74 plus 26 plus 25, right? We're almost done. This is actually cube root of 125, which is 5. Alright, so moving on to the last question. Now, if n is an integer such as these two factors, right, each bracket is a factor, is a prime number, okay, when they multiply together is a prime number, find all the possible value of n. So what happened is, first of all, let's remind ourselves that prime numbers are natural numbers. That means they are all positive, right? There's no such thing as a negative prime number. So in this particular case, we could either have a situation where it is 1 times a positive number or negative 1 times a negative number, right? So we got two cases, right? Case 1, right, will be case 1, we can say is a 1, okay, that's right, positive 1 times, okay, I shouldn't write it this way, right? So case 1 is what happened if one of the factors is 1. So in case 1, n minus 7, which is the smaller of the two, if they are both positive, right, is equals to 1, n equals to 8. Okay, but case 2, what is case 2? So maybe just for me to denote here, right? So here is a positive times positive, right? Case 2 will be a situation where we have a negative times negative. So which means one of this number is a negative 1. But which one is a negative 1, right? So negative 1, if both numbers are negative, negative 1 is actually the larger negative integer, right? So in this case, n plus 3 equals to negative 1. So n equals to negative 4, right? So how does it work? Okay, you can check it out. Test. Case 1, we have n minus 7 times n plus 3. We have actually n is 8, so this is 1 times 11, 11, right? Case 2, we have a situation where we have n minus 7 times n minus plus 3. So n is negative 4, so this is actually negative 11 times negative 1, which gives us 11. So all good, right? All good. Okay, so therefore the answer is negative 8 and negative 4. Okay, so I hope you have been successful, and well, I'm sorry you're going to hear this voice a bit husky because I'm still having a little bit of a sore throat. But I hope this is sufficient for you to do your corrections properly, right? Have a nice day.